At 80 years old, I've made plenty of choices in life, but one stands out as my deepest regret: moving into a nursing home. It seemed like the sensible option at the time. My kids thought it would keep me safe, and I believed I'd find peace and care. But the moment I settled in, I realized the truth was far from what I'd imagined. If you or someone you love is considering a nursing home, this video is for you. I'm sharing 6 hard truths I wish I'd known before I made that life-changing move. These aren't just complaints, they're lessons that could save you from losing what matters most. Stay with me until the end, because some of these truths hit harder than I ever expected, and they might just change how you think about your future. If you're ready to hear my story, drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're here, and let's dive in. If you're new to Seniors Life Wisdom, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Your support means the world to us. Now, let's get started with the first truth. Truth 1. Losing my freedom to choose. The biggest shock of moving into a nursing home wasn't the plain walls or the shared dining hall. It was how quickly I lost the freedom to make my own choices. At home, I decided everything: what time to wake up, what to cook for dinner, whether to watch a movie or take a nap. Those choices, big and small, made life mine. But in the nursing home, my days were governed by someone else's schedule. Breakfast was at 7 a.m., whether I was hungry or not. Lights out at 9 p.m., even if I wanted to read. If I craved a snack or a walk, I had to ask for permission and wait for staff to be available. I remember my first month, sitting in my room, wanting to make a cup of tea the way I liked it, with a splash of milk and a pinch of sugar. But the kitchen was off limits, and the tea they served came in a styrofoam cup, tasteless and cold. That moment hit me hard. I wasn't in charge anymore. My routines, my preferences, my way of living, they were gone. I missed deciding to rearrange my furniture on a whim, or choosing which flowers to plant in my garden. Even picking my own clothes felt restricted. Staff sometimes laid out outfits to help. Every lost choice chipped away at my sense of self. Ask yourself, are you ready to let go of the freedom to shape your day? Because once it's gone, you'll feel the weight of every choice you can't make. Drop a 2 in the comments if this resonates with you. Truth 2. Fading connections with loved ones. I thought moving into a nursing home would keep me close to my family, but it did the opposite. When I lived at home, my kids dropped by for coffee, my grandkids played in the yard, and neighbors waved from across the street. Those moments kept me anchored. But in the nursing home, I became a destination, not a part of their daily lives. At first, my son visited every weekend, and my daughter called regularly. But life got busy: work, school, soccer games, and the visits dwindled. Calls turned into texts, and holidays felt lonelier than ever. I'd sit in the lounge, watching families come and go for other residents, hoping today would be my day. One Christmas, I waited all afternoon for a promised visit that never came. My daughter apologized, saying she got caught up, but the ache stayed. It's not that they stopped caring, it's that being out of sight makes it easy to slip out of mind. I saw it with others too, like Helen, a 78-year-old whose kids lived an hour away. She kept their photos by her bed, but months passed without a visit. I stopped hosting family dinners or sharing stories over tea, moments that bonded us. Birthdays became cards in the mail, not laughter around a table. The nursing home's walls seemed to cut me off from the world I loved. Ask yourself, are you prepared for the distance that grows when you're no longer part of everyday life? If this hits home, drop a 3 in the comments. Truth 3. Forgetting who I was. At home, I was more than just an old man. I was a gardener, a storyteller, a friend. I had roles that gave my life meaning. But in the nursing home, those parts of me started to fade. There were no plants to tend, no porch to sit on and swap stories with neighbors. The staff were kind, but they saw me as a resident, not as the person who spent decades building a life. Days blended together, filled with bingo games or TV shows I didn't choose. I met Frank, an 83-year-old who used to paint landscapes. At home, he'd spend hours at his easel, but here, there was no space or supplies for his art. I watched him grow quiet, his spark dimming as he sat with nothing to create. I felt it too. Without my garden or my old routines, I started forgetting what made me, me. I missed teaching my grandkids about flowers or fixing things around the house. Those roles defined me, but in the nursing home, I was just a name on a chart. Activities like crafts felt childish, not fulfilling. The nursing home wasn't built to nurture who you are. It's built to keep you safe and fed. But safety without identity feels hollow. Ask yourself, what makes you feel like yourself, and are you ready to risk losing it? If this makes you think, drop a 4 in the comments to let me know you're still here. Truth 4. My body weakened faster than I expected. Before moving, I was active for my age. I walked to the store, swept my porch, even did light gardening. Those tasks kept me strong, but in the nursing home, everything was done for me. Meals arrived on a tray, rooms were cleaned by staff, and there was no yard to wander. At first, it felt like a break. No more chores, just rest. But soon I noticed my legs felt heavier, my balance shakier. Sitting for hours became normal, and getting up took effort. Within months, I needed a cane, something I never used before. I saw it happen to others, too. Betty, a 76-year-old who loved dancing, came in walking confidently. But with no space to move and few activities, she started using a walker, then a wheelchair. The less we did, the weaker we got. Research shows that inactivity in seniors speeds up muscle loss, making everyday tasks harder. The nursing home made life easier, but that ease came at a cost. I missed climbing stairs or carrying groceries, small efforts that kept my heart and joints active. Without them, even simple walks felt exhausting, and my stamina faded fast. Ask yourself, are you ready to lose strength faster because daily tasks are handled for you? If this worries you, drop a 5 in the comments. Truth 5. Sacrificing my personal space. I never realized how much I valued my own space until it was gone. At home, I had my cozy bedroom, my quiet kitchen, my private corner to think. In the nursing home, that privacy vanished. My room was small, shared with a stranger whose habits clashed with mine. Staff knocked but often entered before I could answer. Bathing, dressing, even using the bathroom sometimes meant waiting for help, which felt humbling in the worst way. I remember wanting to write a letter one evening, but my roommate's TV blared, and there was no quiet corner to escape to. Another resident, Clara, a 79-year-old who loved reading, struggled with a roommate who talked through the night. She'd hide in the common room, but it was never truly private. Even meals felt public, with set menus and no chance to cook something I craved. I missed closing my door to listen to music or arranging my photos just so. The constant presence of others, even kind ones, made me feel exposed, like I'd lost my sanctuary. Your space is where you feel at home, but in a nursing home, it's a shared, controlled environment. Ask yourself, are you prepared to give up the comfort and control of your own space? If this makes you pause, drop a 6 in the comments. Truth 6. Feeling trapped with no way out. When I moved in, I told myself I could leave if I didn't like it. It sounded simple. Try it out. Go back home if it wasn't for me. But leaving was harder than I ever imagined. My house was too big to maintain alone, and my kids had started clearing it out, assuming I'd stay in the nursing home. My savings were tied up in care costs, and physically, I wasn't as capable anymore. The confidence I had to live independently faded after months of relying on others. I met others who felt the same, like Thomas, an 81-year-old who planned to stay only a few months. but his apartment was rented out and his health declined, leaving him stuck. The longer you stay, the more the nursing home becomes your world. Your old life slips away, your home, your routines, your options. I lost touch with old friends who couldn't visit, and my community ties faded. Emotionally, I feared starting over, and the thought of rebuilding my life felt overwhelming. It's not just a place to live, it's a commitment that's hard to undo. Ask yourself, are you ready for the possibility that moving in might mean staying for good? If this truth hits hard, drop a 7 in the comments to show you're with me. As we wrap up, I want you to think about what makes your life yours, your choices, your connections, your passions, your strength, your space, your freedom. Moving into a nursing home seemed like a small step, but it changed everything. I don't regret growing older, but I wish I'd fought harder to stay in my own home, to keep what made me feel alive. Nursing homes have their place for some, but they come with costs you don't see until you're there. If you're facing this decision, ask yourself, is this truly what I need, or is it just the easiest path right now? Your life today, your routines, your independence, your sense of self, is worth protecting for as long as you can. Which of these truths struck you the most? Maybe you're rethinking a plan, or maybe you've seen this happen to someone else. Drop a comment below and share one thing you learned or plan to do differently. Your thoughts inspire others, so don't hold back. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Seniors Life Wisdom for more stories to guide your journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.